Did anyone else join you from the PRs or anything, or was it just you?
Oh no, no, it was just me, just me.
Excellent. Okay, we can dive right in then. And I'll say congratulations on the film, first and foremost.
Thank you so much. You've seen it or
I
just the
have,
trailer?
yes, yeah. They sent me a link to watch, and I'd seen the originals many,
Hmm.
many years ago, and really, really loved the original. There's so much going on to kind of unpack. So I guess the first question is when someone pitches you the idea of this film being kind of reimagined, taking place in a different place and all that kind of stuff, were you aware of the original before, or was this kind of your first introduction to it?
Actually, I saw the first version. My first version of it was Richard Linklater's one.
Mm,
That was in Blockbuster. I hadn't heard about the script. I hadn't heard about the theatricals as a stage show. I just thought that it was because I guess at the time I was just looking for something funny. I didn't even know it would be so dark. I was looking for something slapstick, and when I saw it, I was just in awe. Like it's first of all three of them, Uma Thurman, Ethan Hawke, and Robert Leonard, all had great performances, and
mm,
it just really got me that it was so intense, and it was in a small room, and a story, a good story, doesn't need to have explosions or the end of the world or blood splattering everywhere. It's good raw human emotion. That's really, really entertaining enough as it is. And to get a chance to do this, to walk in Ethan Hawke's footsteps, is I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Bishan and Selena approached me, and they said they're doing this, and I had to have them repeat at least three times. Tay, you mean Richard Linklater one, that one. And Bishan's a very, very smart man. I don't even know how he got the rights to do that. But I was, obviously, when I first saw it, there was so many things that I wanted to do homage to the original. But Bishan's like, no, forget that. Don't do any of that. Plus, it's in Cantonese, and that's when my mouth dropped. Cantonese? I'm not that good at Cantonese to be able to do that. And he said, don't worry, don't worry. We know you're hard. Well, in Hong Kong, I've got a bit of a name of myself for doing a lot of homework because my Cantonese is so poor. I have to do a lot of translations. I have to do a lot of homework to be able to just reach the level of the actors here. And they knew this, and they knew that Wing had required a lot of work. So Bishan blessed me with this role, and of course Selena helped as well a lot, and I loved it. But like I said, once you while the story's the same, the character names are kind of the same. Once you change the culture of the whole thing, it's a reimagination. It's like repicturing the whole thing on Mars. So it's
yeah.
totally a different take, a different texture to the original.
I was going to ask you about that because sometimes, you look at things like Old Boy and some of the other films that they've done. Usually it's the other way around. Usually it's the West remaking the East rather than the other way
Oh,
around. So
got it,
that's a
got it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's usually the other way around. It's usually Americans who want to make their own version of these things. Even, things like Girl with a Dragon Tattoo and all these other things. It's usually the other way
Mhm.
around. So in terms of that you'd mentioned there about the culture, it's
Mm.
very, very different. People will go into it thinking, oh my God, they're remaking Tape. What it's like a cult film and everything. But actually, and also 20, 25 years later, that plus the culture really gives it this new kind of energy and everything else. I guess for you as an actor, that's a good thing in that you're paying homage rather than completely remaking something.
Indeed, indeed. But you see, with Asian audiences, I would talk about Tape as if it's something that I watched coming out of high school, which is actually when I watched it. But here, people might not get to see something like that. Like when with Asian audiences, it has to be a big blockbuster. Cult films, it has to be something like Pulp Fiction for people to look at it. So this one was relatively under the radar. So it's very new over here. But I think it has to be Bashan. Like for an artist to be brave enough to pick up something that's already great reinvents it and puts it into another culture. That's a very brave move. And over in Asia, over here, I guess, from what I have observed, I'm not the expert on this, is that they'd rather make up a new IPO as opposed to pick up an old IPO and kind of just, make some product off that. And it's a very rare thing for people to do that, and not a lot of them do that greatly. I don't know if you remember one called My Best Friend's Wedding.
Mm.
There was a Mandarin version of it, which I like too, but there's something about the original that you just can't take over. Maybe it's timing, I don't know what it was, but I think Bishan was very, very brave in picking up the script and bringing it to Hong Kong. And yeah, it's I guess for him it's really paid off, because it's created a different sort of noise that typically when I make a film, the noise is for the box office weekend, and that's kind of it. But this one, we made it during COVID. It only recently had special screenings in Hong Kong. It's going to different film festivals around the world. It's going to be in the UK for special screenings on the 22nd, and September 18th. It's going to actually be available to everyone. It's got this particular life of this film is so different, vastly different to all the other ones that I've been working with. So I'm really glad I was fortunate enough to work on the project.
Before I ask you about the film itself, you mentioned there you shot it during COVID, and I know for so many people it was such a tough environment. Particularly, it must have been even more so for you guys, given that you weren't, there was obviously troubles on these big budget movies, and they had the money to kind of facilitate. So I just wonder what your experience was with all of that, given that it's the sort of story where there's only you guys in rooms. It's kind of a very close surroundings for you guys.
I think COVID was a big test for me. I understand that a lot of people stopped getting work during COVID productions, but for me, it was kind of the opposite. Obviously, I didn't work on big budget. I don't think it was even films. It was just TV series. And not particularly in this film, but there was a scene where I had to kiss another girl, another character in the film, in the TV series. And prior to this, we were all just wearing masks, hovering around in groups of 15 people, because 16 people, it'd be illegal. And I guess as an actor, you just got to be brave with the whole thing, and kind of throw caution to the wind and just do what it says on the script that you need to do, and don't be such, you just got to be brave. And particularly in this one, because I'm working with, Selena and Kenny are quite big actors over here.
Mm.
And their managers and their safety is a big concern. We were constantly dabbing our noses, doing those COVID tests all the time, and I think it was trust. A lot of it was trust. We made sure that everything was compliant, COVID compliant, and everyone gave respect. I mean, obviously when we're acting, we're right next to each other, but when you're done, can you back off a bit, and elbow handshakes only, that sort of thing. It was a different
None of those, yeah.
So a lot of my friends still do it.
I mean, it's the new thing, isn't it? You don't tend to have everyone tends to. I remember so much of that, wasn't there, back in COVID times, which seems like such a long time ago. It's so bizarre, and it was like
Wasn't it?
4 years ago or something. In terms of this film, I mean, it must have been like for you guys very much like a play in terms of the way that the film is structured, the way that you guys are interacting with each other. It's almost like a play. So I just wonder what the challenges are for you as an actor when it's like that you're very, very close knit, you're in scenes together pretty much all the time, how that gives you unique challenges as opposed to other things that you've maybe done where it's just you, or in these kind of bigger movies, as you like.
Right. I think because, like you said, this is a very different format to what I'm used to doing. There's a lot of ad hoc on set that we do in Hong Kong, especially when it comes to martial arts films. But this one, there was zero room for creativity while the filming happens. I mean, there are still moments of creativity, but only moments that come out of the script or from the character. We did a lot of rehearsing for this. It was, like I said, it was in COVID, so it was a lot of Zoom rehearsing. And as soon as we were able to, meet each other up in person, we immediately did that. And there was a lot of rehearsing. And it got to a stage where I think we've been rehearsing it the first 10 times, and I was still on script. Like, I was still reading off it, and everyone was slightly getting worried. And but I got a little worried. Of course, I'd never show this. I'll be fine. Everything's gonna be okay. And we, thankfully, when we were able to meet up with each other, we started doing blocking. And this is where the creativity came in. Bishan would say, it's going to be filmed here, but you're free to move in the room or use the props freely as you will. And I think when that blocking was set up, it was so much easier for me to remember where I'm up to and where my emotions are and what part of the dialogue it needs to be. Like, I mean, that really, really helped the process. And I think because Selena and Kenny, both of them, I am kind of their fans. Don't tell them. And I've loved their films or the music they do. And for me to be working, shoulder to shoulder with these people, I really felt privileged. Because I watched their music concerts or the TV series when I was back in Australia before I even spoke Cantonese. So it's like, I feel like I've caught up with time. It's not like time is pushing by me. I've kind of caught up and I'm here. Don't screw it up. You're with the best. So no, they're very friendly, and I think that it for me it was like maybe 3-4 years ago, but I remember it like it was just now. It was a really, really great experience.
Yeah. What was the dynamic like between the three of you? Because obviously you're shooting in a very specific way, like you say, but also the script itself
Mm-hmm.
unveils itself, it unravels and the secrets kind of come out. And so I guess there's you need to have a lot of trust in terms of, sorry, my camera's being very poor today. A lot of trust between the three of you. So was it an easy trio to kind of settle on for you guys in terms of what you had to do and what is kind of coming as the script progresses?
I think in the beginning it was just about, because dialogue was a huge issue, not issue, but a big obstacle to kind of overcome. And I think that's when we started bonding,
Hmm.
because like Kenny was the last one to get the script, and when he got it, it's like, whoa, Adam, we got to meet up. We got to get this right. And I kind of had one of those moments when I first met Selena. There's so much going on here. What are we going to do? And this is where gender doesn't prove how much value you have. This is where I know this, but I saw this on set. Selena not only recorded her own lines, she recorded my lines and John's lines to help us remember all our lines. And of course, I'm Cantonese challenged, so it was so helpful to do it. And she's such a trooper, and like, it's so selfless to do something like that. There's a level of professionalism that requires every actor to know your lines. I don't care how you do it, just know the lines. And she was like, look, this is a passion project. This is one of those artsy, cult films. Let's drop all the barriers that we usually have with each other, and let's help each other out and make this work. And oh, that was so great, such a great, and it was so heartwarming to know that actors, of course, we all have our sides that we play for, and there's certain things that you need to do as an actor. But for those to drop all defenses and kind of help each other really helped this within this difficult film, because the film was filmed over 6 days, and that's kind of why we needed to have so much rehearsal, because there's no way you're going to get to the set and you not know your lines, or you don't know what you're doing. There was no room for that in the budget. So it was a great team to be a part of, and Bishan really we won because he was the leader of the whole field.
I don't think I've ever spoke to anyone that said that, because I spoke to a lot of people who do independent films and said, "Oh, 21 days, 28 days, we had to get in, get out." Was it really 6 weeks? That's like a student film.
Welcome
It's
to Hong Kong. Usually, like small
crazy.
budget films are like 15 days over here, and
Wow.
that's really intense by itself.
Yeah.
Um, so, especially you see more and more of this sort of thing these days in Hong Kong. It's just the nature of work, and to when they mentioned it was 6 days, I had my doubts. How are you going to film a film in 6 days? Like, I can do a student film, and I've done plenty of those, and they don't turn out too well, you know. But of course, I'm not going to say that out of respect for everyone. And I believed it, and we had difficulties, like because we knew the shoot was 6 days, and the first day of filming, we discovered because it was basically an apartment building built inside an industrial building,
Right.
and on the first day, we discovered that next door kind of decided to have jackhammering lessons. And while VO was one option, there was so much dialogue. There's no way we're going to do VO for everything.
Mm.
So what we did was we had to make an executive decision to kind of film at night and leave the day for them to do their jackhammering. And that affected work because Kenny, Selena, myself, we had things booked for the day. So what we just wouldn't get rest. We wouldn't get rest. We'd have to do the work during the day and then go straight back to work. But having said that, that's not really unheard of here in Hong Kong. A lot of TVB actors, these guys, they get the best training in the world. They do they do the day work, like the non-studio shots, and then as soon as they finish that, they probably have a shower if they're lucky, and they go straight into the studio, while the crew get a little bit of a break, but the actors do not. And I haven't experienced that 100%. I've seen it. I get days where it's more work, but TVB is a big manufacturing actor factory, and it's the culture of making film here is really, really, really different to what I've seen around the world. I mean, every film industry has its unique aspects, attributes, but in Hong Kong, it's about no sleep, and a lot of being smart on set.
It's just it's kind of mind-boggling. And like you said, we talked about big budget movies. They just take over a whole town if they need to, and just kick everything. You know what I mean? Just like, we've got all the money, get out. No jackhammering, no business, no work for the next week. We're paying you, to go away. Whereas with this, I mean, even 6 days. Which was the hardest? What's the hardest day? Is the first day the hardest, or is the last day the hardest, or in between?
Um, I think for me, the first day was the hardest because
Mm,
that's the day that where you kind of wanted to get as much done as you could because you knew
mm,
it's 6 days. But there's a culture in Hong Kong when for the media and the press, when usually your first open day, you invite the media, you invite the press, and they kind of they have their moments of
mm.
recording whatever they need to, interviews, questions, that sort of thing. And as that was happening, I was biting my nails. Like, how long do you guys need to be here? I mean, we need to get moving. But it worked out okay. We caught up in time. And towards the end, it was also difficult because now there is no time. Cameras need to stop working here at, say, for example, I don't know what it was, but maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, it needed to stop. And at 2:45, Bisham was like, "Okay, we've got 2 more shots. Let's see if we can fit it in." And because if as the actor, I'm on set. If I screw up those lines or screw up my action or don't have the mood right, then that shot is lost. It's all on my shoulders. So I would say the beginning and the end were really intense. When we were in the motions of it in between, everything was quite smooth, quite smooth.
I think now hearing all these stories and like the 6 days and how you did it and night shoots and everything else to pull off what you guys have pulled off is extraordinary. It makes me want to go back and
Well,
watch it and be like, how did they do this?
yeah, you can always watch it a second time. No,
Watch it for a
Bishan,
second time. It's absolutely crazy. Just before I go, I will just say sorry, my camera's been really rubbish today. Just before I go, I just curious, what's next for you? Have you got your next kind of projects lined up? Is there something you would love to do in the next couple of years as part of your acting
I
journey, let's say?
Well, thankfully, even given the film climate, I still have work. We actually just finished one from in Malaysia. It's a collaboration between my parent company, Mandarin Motion Pictures, and a Malaysian company, which they're also great in doing with their craft. Working with those actors, they're just as professional, and it was a great experience. And that will be coming out maybe next year. So it will be coming. I'm not going to say will be. I hope it will be coming out in Malaysia and Hong Kong. And I think for me, I would love another opportunity. Not well, I've had one opportunity, but only one, where I had an English script. My background, I'm actually Australian, so 99% of my work is in Cantonese. Like,
Mm.
while I love the challenge, there's a certain security being able to speak English and to not to have to think too much on set and look natural. It's an added difficulty when you have to work in a different language. So yeah, I really look forward to a full English script, hopefully in the future, very soon.